Alright, so I'm going to animate the lights here. I just want them moving around just a hair. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go back here and I'm going to go into the third tab on top, and that's the pivot. And I'm going to affect the pivot, and I'm going to basically bring that pivot up here by the point. And I'm going to do that on each one of them here. Get it relatively close, and then I'm going to check the pivot button off. And then I'm going to add a modifier on there called bend. And what bend does is bend actually bends your concept, your object. So a sharp bend, you can see that it really is kind of distorting everything. And I don't want that. All I want is I'm going to do auto key here, and so I'm going to do a little bit of auto key here, and I'm going to turn that on, and I'm going to go all the way here. And with this bend modifier, I'm going to simply right click here, and I'm going to add a key. And I'm going to give it a little bit of frames here. And just kind of just angle it a hair. And you see when I move it, it turns it red. So now I have 2 keyframes in there. And then we're going to go, that's about 20, and I'm going to go to 40, and I'm going to bend it. Actually, I'm going to go to 60, and I'll bend it backwards. Something like -3. And so if you look at it, I'm going to turn off my auto key. And if you look at it, you can see that it's swaying just a little bit. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for it to basically go forward, back, and forth. And it's just very subtle movement. I don't need that much. And then once I do that with everything, now sometimes I've noticed sometimes that if I do something like this here, and I do a instance and say okay, now I get both of these moving, all right? And so that's something that can save me a little time, is doing animation on one and getting rid of all the other ones. So I'm just gonna kind of grab here, and let's grab this. And now you have to realize that no two things would animate directly the same. So I'm going to say okay, say instance, and I don't see the other ones in the frame, so I'm good with that. So as you can see, I'm just getting a little bit of a kind of a motion back. Now, what I want to have happen is I want to basically, I'm going to go to auto key here, and I'm going to grab everything in the scene. So I'm going to grab everything from here to here, G, so I can see stuff. And I'm going to subtract a couple of things. The first thing I'm going to subtract is I'm going to subtract the outer light, and let's grab that. I don't need the skylight, and I don't need this either. So I'm going to just grab that, and what I'm going to do here, roughly, yeah, and I'm going to just say, I'm going to basically hit a key on this, and that's going to give me a little bit of keyframe here. And then what I'm going to do is move it over just 5, and move it just a hair up. Oops, undo this. One thing I'm just going to, okay, I'm undoing that keyframe there. And then one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, I need to get rid of this camera because I want the camera stationary. So I need to find the camera, take the camera off, There we go. Now I can go back, and at 85, I'm going to hit a keyframe, and I'm just going to slightly move everything just a hair up, and then at 95, I'm going to move it slightly down again. And then, so when you play the animation, so you're going to get that little bit of a hitch going on, and that's what you're looking for. All right? Hey, I wanted to thank everyone for subscribing to my Patreon, and if you haven't yet, check it out.